Have you ever stopped to think about why pressing Ctrl+C copies something, Ctrl+V pastes it, or Ctrl+Z magically undoes a mistake? These shortcuts have become so automatic that most of us use them without even looking at the keyboard. They save us countless hours every year, yet most people have never wondered why those particular letters were chosen in the first place. Behind every familiar key combination is a surprisingly long story involving early computers, typewriters, software pioneers, and years of trial and error. So how did these shortcuts become the universal language of computers, and why have they remained almost unchanged for decades? That's exactly what we're exploring today, right here, on History of Simple Things. Long before personal computers appeared on office desks, keyboards were already evolving through mechanical typewriters and teleprinters. Early computer terminals borrowed heavily from these older machines because they were already familiar to operators. In the 1960s and 1970s, computers had very limited displays and memory, so most commands were typed out rather than selected from menus. Every character mattered, and every extra keystroke cost time. Engineers quickly realized that frequently used commands needed faster ways to activate them. At first, different manufacturers created their own systems, meaning someone trained on one computer often had to relearn another. There was no universal language of keyboard commands, only isolated solutions designed for specific hardware. One of the earliest influences came from the Control key itself. On teleprinters, holding Control while pressing another key didn't create a new letter. It generated a control character that instructed the machine to perform an action instead of printing text. For example, combinations could signal a new line, ring a bell, or pause communication between machines. These invisible commands became deeply rooted in computing, especially on Unix systems, where shortcuts like Ctrl+C still stop a running program today rather than copying text. This history explains why keyboard shortcuts vary depending on what software you're using. The Control key wasn't originally designed for editing documents at all. Instead, it was a practical way to squeeze extra commands from a keyboard without adding more physical keys, a clever solution for the technological limits of the time. The shortcuts most people recognize today largely emerged during the rise of graphical user interfaces in the late 1970s and early 1980s. Researchers at Xerox PARC pioneered many concepts that later appeared in commercial computers, including windows, icons, and mouse-based editing. When graphical text editors became more common, developers needed keyboard alternatives that were faster than navigating menus with a mouse. Selecting meaningful letter combinations seemed like the simplest solution, but even then there was little agreement. Different programs experimented with different layouts. Some relied on function keys, while others assigned unrelated letters to common actions. The challenge wasn't inventing shortcuts, it was convincing enough software developers to use the same ones. The breakthrough came as software companies began standardizing the most common editing commands. Copy became Ctrl+C because C naturally represented copy. Paste received Ctrl+V, partly because the V key sits beside C and resembles the tip of an insertion mark used by editors. Cut became Ctrl+X, with the letter X visually suggesting something being crossed out or removed. Undo landed on Ctrl+Z, largely because Z sits beside X and C on the keyboard, allowing editors to cluster related commands together for quick access with one hand. These weren't universal laws of design, but practical decisions that balanced memorability with physical comfort. As popular word processors and operating systems adopted the same combinations, millions of users learned them, encouraging even more software developers to follow the growing convention. Apple approached the problem a little differently. Early Macintosh computers reserved the Control key for system-level functions, so Apple introduced the Command key as the primary shortcut modifier instead. The now famous symbol on the key, often called the looped square or St. John's Arms, was chosen after designer Susan Kare searched for a symbol that wouldn't clutter software menus with repeated Apple logos. As Macintosh applications gained popularity, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and Ctrl+Z became the Mac equivalents of their Windows counterparts. Although the modifier keys differ, the underlying letters remain almost identical across platforms. This consistency wasn't accidental. Keeping familiar letters reduced confusion and made switching between programs far easier. Not every shortcut has such an obvious origin. Ctrl+S for saving is easy enough to understand, but combinations like Ctrl+P for printing, Ctrl+F for finding text, and Ctrl+A for selecting everything became widespread only after software developers agreed they were intuitive enough for most people. Others have changed over time. Refreshing a web page with F5, opening the developer console with F12, or locking a computer with Windows+L are examples tied to particular operating systems rather than universal computing history. Even today, new shortcuts continue to appear as software evolves, especially for creative tools and collaboration apps. The story behind every keyboard shortcut isn't really about individual keys at all. It's about decades of people trying to make computers easier, faster, and more natural to use. What began as technical workarounds for primitive machines gradually evolved into a shared language understood across operating systems, applications, and even generations of users. Every time you instinctively press Ctrl+C, Command+V, or Ctrl+Z without thinking, you're relying on design choices made by engineers and software pioneers many years ago. Those tiny combinations may seem ordinary today, but they represent one of the quietest success stories in technology. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.